Hey, Mike.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to Chit Chat Photo Booth in the new year of 2025. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot believe it. This is too many decades I've now seen.
I was totally taken away when you messaged and said, "Hey, let me jump on in there and meet the people."
That's
You've
right.
been a member of Chit Chat Photo Booth Facebook community, and we love having you there. You're one of our star vendors that come in and share, give really good information, and really support the photo booth industry and especially the Chit Chat community. So we
Oh,
thank you so much.
yeah, I plan on being a little bit more active this year. Last year got a little bogged down, but yeah, no, it's awesome. There's all kinds of great discussions I see.
We try. We try. Yeah, it started during COVID, and it's just starting to grow. We do some retreats. We do money making Mondays. We were doing some wind down Wednesdays, and so just trying to keep it interesting and keep people connected. Because I feel like if you're connected, one, you want to do the business more, but two, you learn from each other. So we definitely go by the model of community over competition.
Yeah, no, that's one of the great things about your community for sure. Was it a rising tide lifts all ships? Something like
Oh,
that.
yes.
Yeah, so no, very exciting.
Now, I don't know how anybody could not know who you are, but those who do not, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you represent. Go from there.
All right. Well, I'm Mike Bender. I'm a co-founder of Mobi Booth and the founder of photoboothtemplates.com. And years back, I was actually the founder of photoboothOwners.com, which, if you're old school, then you actually know what that is. It was before Facebook groups, so
Wow.
yeah, forums, if you remember them things.
No, see, I'm learning new today.
Yeah. So Photo Booth Owners at one point was we had about 10,000 active members, 2012, 2013. And then
Okay.
the Facebook groups came out and kind of eroded forums, not readily on your device like a Facebook app. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we had all kinds of great stuff. We had all kinds of all stars that came through with us. Like we all learned together. I remember when Min first joined us. So I can remember Min's first day joining the forums, and I think he must have made like 50 posts.
Now, listen to questions. Here we go.
He was a very inquisitive individual and still is. He's super creative because of that. But so I've been around the photo booth industry since 2009. So I guess that would probably classify me as almost OG, right?
Yes, more than
I
OG.
mean, I actually got into the industry, ironically, out of necessity. I live in a rural part of Ohio, and nobody rented photo booths.
Yeah.
So my wife and I wanted to have one at our wedding, and so my background's in engineering. So I was like, hey, this isn't that complicated. We can make some stuff talk. So I created a photo booth for our wedding initially, and wrote some software that just kind of basically worked with it because I didn't know about anything that was out there, which there really wasn't much.
Yeah.
And from there, I was like, hey, we'd like to rent your photo booth for our wedding, so it's like, hey, here we
Go.
go. All right. So it was kind of like haphazardly how I ended up in the industry. And so from there, I was like, started starving. I'm like, who else does this? Somebody else has got to be doing this. And that was where I kind of poked around online. There was one other forum at that time. I bounced around in it for a little bit, but it had kind of gotten the way that some of our Facebook groups are now, where it's like you couldn't ask a question without, 10 snarky responses and then maybe something with a little substance. So I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I know how to do web stuff. So I stood up a website, and that was where photoboothOwners.com came from. So it was a forum first group. And I invited a few people that were nice inside of the other group to me there, and it kind of organically grew. And at one point, we were over 10,000 active members. And when I say active, it was somebody they at least interacted with the website multiple times within 1 year, which I don't even know that we could say in the Facebook groups at this
No,
point.
you can't say that. No, at
So it
all.
was a was a really good community. I think we generated well over 1 million posts inside of there.
Wow.
Before I shut it down, it had a treasure trove of information that became antiquated. So that's kind of like, yeah, we can retire it. But from there, it was like I found out, I was like, everybody back then, people are gonna love this. Printed 4 photos on a strip, white border, and half the people used Comic Sans and wrote the bride and groom's name on it with the date. And that was a photo booth print.
Yes, yep.
Like, oh, we gotta raise ourselves up collectively if we want this to grow as an industry. And that was kind of where photoboothtemplates.com grew out of.
Wow.
So we it started out just me doing designs, and then I had a couple other friends that were artists also. So I brought them on, and at one point I think we had 6 people on the team. And yeah, we've now produced almost 7,000 templates.
Wow.
So that was it. Yeah, launched that in 2012. And then I spent some time at an ad agency, about 4 years. And I was a lead software engineer in one of the innovation groups. And we did all kinds of trade show work. This will come full circle for you, right?
Right.
And the iPad was this brand new device, right? And we were integrating the iPad 1 into trade shows stuff with custom apps that we wrote for them. We used a lot more Windows-based tablets because we could leverage Flash back then. Which I don't know if you know what that or remember Flash or not. Like you go to a website and it'd be like, you need to install Flash Player.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it was a very powerful program when you used it locally. So we had amazing artists there. And I mean, we did all these creative different stuff with them, but the iPad was starting to break in. So I got to write some software on it. And then I was like, I think these are close to being ready for prime time for the photo booth industry. And then the iPad Pro came out. I was like, oh, yep, no, here we go. We're on our way. We got a bigger screen because the first one was just at 12:9.
Right.
And it had the crappy front camera still, but it was a big screen at least. So that was when I reached out to my business partner, Mobi Booth, Mike Davis. At that time, we were just acquaintances, and said, hey, I know you do this thing over here, but we think about doing a side project that's we'll stand up something and we'll just do iPad stuff. And
wow.
That was kind of the genesis of Mobi Booth. And we first exhibited at PBX in 2016. It was kind of a...
So you didn't exhibit at 2015?
No, Mike was there with his company, DSLR booth. And I was there. I walked the floor actually that year with one of my artists. And then I exhibited as templates in 2016. And then we kind of had this quasi area that was like, hey, there's something new. And then 2017 was the first year that we did a full-on Mobi booth area.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the year that we introduced the Aura, which I see
behind
you there and behind me here. And there was nothing like it. And on the floor, it was amazing. It was so cool. And then
that's probably the best. That year was crazy. That was my first year speaking.
Okay.
17.
I spoke that year too.
And that's the year we moved to Westgate, wasn't it? Was that Westgate?
I think 18's when we went to Westgate. Then we do 25th. I can't remember. It's long.
Golly.
I don't remember where we were on that one. I was thinking 18 and 19 was Westgate, came back in 20.
Good Lord.
Was down in 20. Yeah. We're at one of the two.
I gotta look at the pictures. When I see the pictures, it'll make sense.
Exactly. Yeah, I spoke that one too.
I try not to remember Westgate.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that location. So
we definitely taught me something new because I had no idea of the forums. I had no idea what that is. I came in on Photo Booth Network.
Okay. I remember Dave Stevenson actually messaging me inside of Photo Booth Owners, the forum, because, he had DMs and that stuff too also. And he's like, hey, do you mind if I share a link out to our Facebook group we're starting? I'm like, Sure.
Sure.
That's actually where Photo Booth Network first was published, I believe, as
Wow.
far as for outside of Facebook marketing.
Wow. Yeah.
It was crazy.
And it was history from there.
Yeah.
So photo booth templates is still going.
Yeah.
I do not use photo booth templates. Tell me more about that.
So we have pre-designed. Yeah. So we've been designing since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we're in like year 13 now.
Mm-hmm.
We produce a new theme every week. So on Wednesdays, we put out a brand new design. So 52 releases every year. And we've done that consistently since we launched. I think we missed 3 Wednesdays in the whole time. But yeah, so they're pre-designed. They're Photoshop files.
Okay.
They do come with a static file set with them, so they could be brought into a Canva or something like that for text and stuff. It does seem like people are moving towards Canva a little bit more, so we may look at what we can do with some of the designs. I don't think all of them will port over because Canva is considerably more limited than what Photoshop is. The nice thing is like Photoshop Elements is actually cheaper than Canva, and it works great on our stuff. But so yeah, so they're pre-designed. We try to stay on trend, try to keep up with the trends and ahead of them. You know, so we're researching right now what's spring looking like and starting to get our design in place for that. We have a embeddable catalog widget that we launched 2013, I think. It's been around forever, it feels like, too. And that allows you to actually put all the designs on your website, all your branding. Has a selection process so that your client can go through the process and say, I want this design. Here's the customizations I would like on that. Hit submit. It goes to your email. And then from there, you just come to the website and purchase it. We do have discount clubs, the largest of which the annual one is 72% off. So it's like $8 for a template. Super affordable. Build it into your price. Save yourself a ton of time.
Save yourself a lot of money. You don't want to know how much I spend on templates right now.
Yeah, well.
So is it good for any software?
So they're graphic assets. We do build them around a few frames. So we built our own little framework. I think we've got 32 different layouts now that go across a traditional DSLR, so horizontal 3:2 aspect ratio designs, so it matches up with your camera. We have iPads, so they are a 4:3 aspect, match up with iPads. And then we have portrait, for which at the time was mostly just mirror booths, but now most booths are able to flip too. So we've got a number of different designs. We've got starter files. I'm working on releasing new ones for some of the softwares that have made changes, so you can import settings immediately, have all of the locations and sizes of all the photos set up, bring your graphics in, done.
Do you do custom work?
We don't do custom work, but what we do is if you've got at least a somewhat decent lead time, we build usually a couple weeks in advance. We're kind of build up in our queue, but we take requests, and instead of like charging you for that, we evaluate the design. If it seems something that's like on trend or fills a gap that we don't have in our catalog, then we just make it.
Okay, gotcha.
Then you can buy it at the whatever if you're buy it at non-members price or members price, depending on whichever it is, if you're a member or not.
Okay.
But
so if you're a member, you get a discounted price. Non-members, So
that's the discount club side of it.
Got you. Okay, we'll see them learning new, and then Mobi. We're super excited. How many products do you have under the Mobi brand now? Currently,
we have actually been working through consolidation here lately.
Okay.
So we have the Aura products. We retired at the end of last year the original Aura L. So we have the Aura and then the Aura M. Looks like you have an Aura M behind you, and I have an Aura sitting behind me. But so differences: mirrorless camera and not mirrorless camera. Yeah. We all know the photo quality differences. But there, as we know, there's also trade-offs, right?
Yeah.
Not as easy to go drop off, a little bit more but yeah, so we have the Aura product models. Then we have the Cruise. So the Cruise is available in the same way. So we have a Cruise and a Cruise M. So the Cruise is an iPad-based camera you're using, and then the Cruise M has the mirrorless camera integrated into it.
I actually sold my Cruise, and I got the Cruise M.
Nice.
So I have that. Well, we used it with the monopod that you offer.
Yes.
And which came in handy. My attendant had shoulder surgery.
Oh,
and so she was like, I can't work for the next 2 weeks because I had shoulder surgery. So when she returned, I said, guess what I have? And she was like, thank you so much. It made life so much easier. And it was a 4-hour event, which we hardly ever do with our roamers. And it was a holiday party with like 600 people. So they were like gangbanging her. Like, she's like this the whole night. with that stand, she had a great time. She didn't even take the breaks that I allotted for her. She just kept going.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear. Yeah, the monopod was really, to me, it was important that we got that into the product. So when we were designing the bracket that held the camera, I'm like,
that's
back
important.
Bottom side, we've got to have this here so that it's sturdy.
Definitely, because if that bracket wasn't there, it would be very cumbersome.
Yeah. No, I mean, 5 pounds doesn't sound like a lot until you hold it for hour after hour. I mean, I'm a big guy and I have no interest in holding one of those all night long like that. So
yeah, and the wrist thing. I'm like, just like with the camera, like put it on your wrist because you'll forget.
Yeah,
you will forget, especially like hour after hour, you're like, oh shoot, but it's on your wrist. So you're holding it and you have that on your wrist and you're moving around. It's really,
so you kept the wrist on and made use of that. I was wondering if that would get used or not. It was one of the things I was looking at when I was looking at all these different monopods for us to offer with. I'm like, that seems like a really nice thing. You just never know when somebody's bumping into you, or I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah, because like you said, if somebody bumped into you, it would just go flying. So because she has the wrist thing, it was very secure, and it was a lot of people, so she had to be able to maneuver pretty quickly through the crowd. So it was perfect. So I appreciate all of that.
That's great to hear.
Great design.
Appreciate that feedback too. Yeah.
I
don't get to talk to enough people. It seems like that's why we look forward to February every year, because that's like a big, let's talk, let's meet and greet. It's as much networking as anything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, I think we spoke through the evolution of the photo booth industry. There you go.
So we actually have one more product too. So we have the Edge, which I don't think you've seen.
No, I haven't seen it live. It was at the
DJX show. We launched it last year. We just didn't have it quite ready for PBX last year. It comes so early in the year. And so we'll have that at the show and a couple different variations. And so we're super excited about that one. It's like that next step with, you really get a nice photo with it. It's got everything built into it, options for umbrellas and stuff. So yeah, no, that one's exciting.
So what made you bring that one to the market?
Well, it was ready. And so the Aura is a wonderful package, but it can't be left places when it's in the Aura M so much, because we made use of magnets to make stuff very easy to get in and out of. But with the regular Aura, we're able to put bolted faceplates on them still, and they're kind of a linchpin of the drop-off industry. But with the M, you got this off the back, right? Also making use of speed lights, which I prefer strobe, but sometimes the product form factor takes you where it lets you know where you can go, right? So this was kind of just an evolution. We had talked for a while about returning. We actually had one called the Encore that we launched in 2018. A little larger form factor, and at the time the industry was really like, if it wasn't in a single case, people weren't even interested. And that one was a 2 case. So people just didn't want to lug 2 cases around, which I use a rock and roller. So
it's
stick it all.
You said that. I'm trying to think, somebody was talking about the cases the other day. I can't remember. I want to say, I know I sent one of my mentees to you. They ended up getting the Cruise with the stand.
Okay. Cruise Plus.
Does that come in 1 or 2?
1.
Comes in 1. Okay. That's what she said. She said, well, what if I just wanted to do the roamer part by itself? Do I have to take the whole case? And I said, no, you got the bag. And she says, no, it's 1 case.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you gotta go get the bag. So you can just, put that on. Because I had an event in DC would just call for a roamer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to drive. I'm going to get on Amtrak. And I took my little bag and I went to DC with my little bag and I did my roaming and I got back on that Amtrak. And it was so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No parking problems.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. Have her reach out to me, or we'll just point her in the direction of where she can purchase that bag. She doesn't need to get it from us. It's an SKB case. So
it's really nice. But she loves it. She loves it. And
awesome.
She's here locally and we've been working together. And it's just great to have other people and we have the same equipment so that when we get the calls in there, because in the last 2 to 3 years, we have gotten more events where it's calling for multiples. COVID, people are ready to come out and party and they come out in large numbers. So, when it hits 150, 200, we're like, you need another booth and you need another booth. And so to be able to call upon people and get them out there with multiple booths and like, who got this? And I've always, the Aura, whenever there are trade shows or there's nationwide events, you always hear people in the group saying, we need it to be Aura-like. Or like, and I'm like, I think. Do you think that's because of it being able to be wrapped, or what? Why do you think that people have coined the phrase "or like"?
Well, as I'd mentioned, like when we released it and brought it to the show in 2017, there was nothing that looked like it. And it kind of was a trendsetter. It's still, and I always invite everyone at PBX when you're there to make sure that you're like actually touching and feeling everything. It's very sturdy when assembled. I've never heard of one being knocked over. We worked hard to make sure center of gravity was in place. The base plate's not too large, but it's just large enough. And with the rubber feet, it's really hard to knock over. The tilting works well. And the light's the best one on the market as far as
I don't know why you didn't start there. That's the selling point for me. When we do go to the show, and there's always that party that's in the show. What do they think? Showroom.
Yeah, we'll be back there again Wednesday this year.
And they try out different booths at the parties, but it's always that party where, and I don't know if it's that combination, but when you put the Aura and Snap Pick together, it's like magic. The images come out so amazing, and you're like, oh wow. And we notice it. I mean, I don't know if our guests notice it,
right?
But we notice it as professionals in the industry that combination is just outstanding. Yeah. So, I think there was an upgrade to the lighting at some point, right? Like, was it?
Yes.
A couple years back?
So we when did we launch this one? 22 is when the current head came out, and that's why we kept the other one through 22, 23, and 24, and then retired the all white light, which is the old Aura L.
Okay, gotcha.
Which was the original unit that we launched. So everything's just RGBW app controlled now. I actually take a lot of pleasure in hearing people that like our light, because our light's built in the U.S. and we're quite proud of that. I worked with another engineer and we designed the electronics on it. So it is an in-house design, and we have a manufactured for us in Arizona.
Oh wow!
So the Aura is actually one of the only products that I know of that can actually say it's made here in the USA. Like everything's made here in the USA, right?
USA. Yeah. I remember I had another booth. I'm not going to mention the company, but they did not want to do the integration of the lighting with the software. And that was another push for me to go over to Mobi as well. So thank you for that as well, because that just makes life such easier with trying to get a good product out to the guest. Is the lighting is great. It integrates. The way we can manipulate the lighting so easily in the iPad on site. It's just great. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Take good pride in that one.
Like, on or off. You want it on or off. That's it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And like we build around being open also. So I think we've got 7 integration partners now. So pretty much all the major apps have done an integration with us. So you're not locked into one software, because some softwares do certain things better than other ones. So depending on what kind of event you're doing, I mean, if you're week in, week out, just doing weddings and that type of event, you're able to kind of dictate, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I offer. You can meet the market needs. But when you start playing in the corporate world, well, now you're starting to have things dictated to you.
Yeah.
And you got to have all the tools in your tool belt. So we've worked hard. We're trying to get a few more that have been kind of reluctant. I don't know why. For a while there, one of them thought we were a competitor because we used to have our own app. So they refused while we had our app, which has been retired for a few years now. But all the big players, Snappic, Photo, Curator Lives integrate with us, Booth.events, which I was thoroughly impressed with last year at PBX.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about that software.
They're doing a real nice job.
We just did a tutorial with Leah Wells. I don't know if you've met Leah. It's like our tech guru of the group.
Yeah.
And she's been playing with it, and she wanted to help anybody that wanted to kind of get started with it the other night. So we all jumped on and kind of did a little walkthrough with it. So I'm looking forward to it, because it does some things that I'm interested in using next year. Well, this year. I keep saying next year. This year.
Next season.
Next season. Yes, I don't know. And Tim, he's really nice. And he
super
came
nice guy.
on and he did a Money Making Monday with us, and walked us through, his thoughts of his software and talked to us about different features and stuff. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I haven't used it at an event. I downloaded it, so I'm excited to use it at an event with the
absolutely.
Yeah.
We last year we had basically every integrator was installed on one of the booths in our area, so you could see all of them. We're doing that again this year. So as you walk through the area, you can actually try them all the different ones, see their integrations, how they work, the output with our product. I was really blown away by their skin smoothing last year. I feel like they had the best of it. And like I said, they all have different pluses and minuses to them. So, like if you're doing glam shots and stuff like that, that's kind of would be my go-to right now.
Yeah. That's what I keep hearing. That's the word across the industry, is to give them a try. Yep, I hear the same thing.
Yeah. So we got Breeze Booth also, Pictor, which was the AI. I think they still are. They got some really cool stuff coming this year to show off. Then who else is in there? Photos app, which was actually I don't know how much they've actually penetrated our market. That's by Picture Marketing. It's kind of more of a long-term placement type stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of where their space is. And then
you said Pictures app?
Photos app.
Photos app. Okay.
Yeah. And then TouchPix.
Yep. So you'll have all of those on some of the booths at the expo.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you looking most forward to this year at the expo?
Always the networking. I like seeing everybody. I remember 2015, there was a bunch of us, we talked for 5-6 years, and you're like, man, when are we ever going to meet? And so, it was so cool. And then, now it just almost feels like a homecoming in some ways in that regard. Really noticed that last year. I felt like there was a lot more excursions happening with groups, right? These are all people who networked through the expo over the years.
Yeah.
So, that's the primary one, is like to be able to get out and talk to people and get feedback, input, learn.
Yeah.
Always think for ways we can improve the product.
Right.
Obviously show off our new products. We're proud of what we do.
And you showed off something new last year, the DJ.
Yeah. So we'll have that back again this year too.
Okay. Good. Yeah, we have a lot of DJs in our group that do both. And so
nice.
I think I know somebody that has yours. I'm not sure. I don't want to say. So but I think so. DC market. You got any in the DC market?
Not sure if we do or not.
Okay. I'm in Richmond, but I dabble and dabble in DC. Trying to stay Richmond, but I'm in DC a lot.
Okay.
So, yeah. So special offer for the community. We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Okay, so we were talking about the Cruise M.
Okay.
So I just really feel like that. That's one thing that I think is still an upward trend for our market, and a place that people can add value to their customers and clients is with the roaming.
Yeah.
Everything from social events to corporate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can add it into. It's a lot easier to go around happy hour with one of those than try to drag people over to a photo booth. So that's kind of where we're targeting a lot this year, is going to be in the roamer space. So the offer is related to the Cruise M. Grab my notes here, and this will be a special link that I will provide to you.
Okay.
And you can share it out. But it is a Cruise M. We're going to do a free battery pack included, free monopod included, plus an additional 5% off of the purchase price.
Okay.
And then we're also going to be including 2 free months of our discount club at photoboothtemplates.com.
Oh, wow. I have to.
So I think it'll be a nice package, and it kind of help everybody get some new tools in their belt for 25, and
that is
get
amazing.
It out of.
I love it. And I know they are going to absolutely flip over it. And like you said, it is the crave right now, especially not just in our industry, not just us wanting it, but our clients wanting it. Mm-hmm. I get so many calls for the roamer, especially when I put it out there. People see it. That's all they keep calling me for is, we want the roamer. We want the roamer. Please bring
I think we're going to see that grow this year. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of our roamer. I feel like it's one of the most durable, if not the most durable on the market. And I will race anyone trying to access their iPad and any other roamer to ours.
Yeah.
5 seconds. You're moving slow.
I enjoy. I have a couple of I have a couple of different models of roamers. I really enjoy the Cruise M. We used it a lot during the holiday season, and and just asking my attendants. The weight is very good. And then when you put the monopod on there, is like I said, it was just such a ease for them to get through the night with it.
Yeah.
Even when they didn't have it, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
They were just moving and shaking with it. Now, it gets so bad at some of the events that I have to put bodyguards with my roamers. So
wow.
Yeah.
I've never had to deal with that.
You'll have because they can only pay attention to the people in front of them, right? And so while they're doing that, these lines start to grow from all directions. That's so you're dealing with this person, and then this person over here is like, they feel like they're next. So if you turn to them, then the one over here gets mad. And I'm standing here like, okay, I'm going to come help. And so I'm like, okay, you're next and you're next and you're next. Okay, no, come over here. So I'm having to bring everybody here, and it's crazy. But and then we added the external flash to the top.
Okay, yeah, the speed light.
And so the images are just ooh.
Yeah, with the
they're really good.
Definitely.
They're really good. And so that makes people want to come. Like, they're like, what photo booth? No, we're coming over here. The only thing is now they want all these group shots. And I'm like, no, if you want big group shots, go on over to the photo booth. This is not that type of party.
But with the camera and landscape, you can do that.
Okay.
I mean, you could just put a landscape template on there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fill the full screen up vertically, but with the new, we will be releasing a new mold here soon that will have the horizontal iPad in it. We just haven't had a chance to get all that mold work done. Okay. So that is coming. Actually, I stand corrected. The M's already that way.
Yes,
I'm thinking of the cruise.
Yeah, the M is
all blurring together. Prep for PBX is eating my brain.
That is cool. So, anything else you want to share with us? Any predictions for 2025 and beyond?
I don't know about predictions. I'm hoping in general it's a better for our overall industry than 24.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of discouraged individuals at the end of 24. It really seemed like social events took a hit last year. So hopefully this year we can see that resurgence.
Why do you think that?
I think discretionary money probably affected it.
Yeah.
I mean, inflation's real. We're all going to the grocery store. And my wife just went last night. I was like, what? Costs how much?
Right.
Boys, you got to quit eating.
Like, good Lord. Yeah. We're going to have to eat off this for a few days. Okay. Just everybody,
No. So I think that definitely took a bite out of, a chunk of people's budgets. And then I believe that I read the other day that there was actually less people married last year than a normal year. It was a below average year for weddings.
Oh, so we have to bring the love back.
Yeah. 25, maybe, hopefully.
Well, I thank you so much. This has been such a joy and a pleasure to speak with you here one-on-one, because we don't always get a chance to do that. And on the floor, as much as you say the networking is there, still a lot of noise. And so I feel like, yes, you get some good face-to-face time, but I love this too, because we can really connect here too. So I like this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for having me on.
All right. And I look to do it again and have some more of our meetings throughout the year.
Yeah. No, I'm going to make a better effort this year to get out to more, get into more networking like that. I think it'll be good for me.
And how do people follow you? And how do people? I know we got your website here for Photo Booth. How else do you want people to get in touch?
So our website's mobibooth.co. So it's not .com, it's .co.
Okay.
And photoboothtemplates.com is my other website. We're on all the social media. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Okay.
So I think it's Mobi Booth Co. Most of those, but type in Mobi Booth in should help you find us. And then I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So search my name up and send me a friend request.
Excellent. Well, we will see you in February.
All right. Looking forward to it.
All right.
Bye.
Let me see here. I'm going to hit pause.